Hi, my name is rouguelike, and this is my review of Pixel Heroes Byte and Magic for the Xbox One. This review is in partnership with BigBossBattle.com, who've kindly given me the review code from developer Headup Games. This review is 100% my own opinion, and I'm not being paid. So what is Pixel Heroes? Well, this is a retro-inspired role-playing game with roguelike qualities. Now, this was originally released on computers and mobile phones in about 2015 and has now been ported over to the Xbox One. So what is the premise of Pixel Heroes? Well, Pixel Heroes begins with you having to choose a party of 3 different folk, basically a bar. Now, each of these folk has their own stats, their own power weapons and how power moves, as you can see here, and also a little background history right in the right corner. Now, once you have done that, basically a conspiracy theorist rushes in with a big sign on him saying, "The end of the world," and it's basically up to you to find out what the hell is going on. And this leads me on to the gameplay. Now, once you've got a quest from the town, you'll be asked to travel across the map to an isolated location full of monsters. Here, you'll have to fight through all 8 levels to defeat a boss and then return back to town for another quest. And this is onto a kind of like a loop until you've done a certain number of quests, and that gives you the whole level. Now, as you travel across the map, as you can see here, you'll meet weird and strange little things which will keep you interested in that respect, and the story here are quite quirky and fun. There's a particular little scene where it meets Tube of You. If you play it, I'll let you think. It's actually quite humorous. Now, once in a dungeon, the battles start. The battles are pretty basic, with each hero only given 2 standard attacks and 2 special abilities. Now, you're able to equip a weapon in each hand, allowing the player to choose between using a magic sword or a flaming crossbow, and so on. But also there's a lot of special abilities involved, attacking multiple players at the same time, or healing a party member. The players and enemies will alternate turns, with the only catch being that you can't use the same character multiple times in a row. After playing for a good couple of hours, you'll start to realise that there is a large variety of enemy types and an even more larger variety of equipment pieces. Also, the bosses themselves require a distinct strategy to take down, and this is only something you'll learn as you go through and progress through the game. There's so much content that you could actually be playing for days and you still won't unlock everything. Another good little aspect I like about this is you can unlock more hero classes whenever you accomplish certain challenges. If this addictive sort of gameplay wasn't enough, trying to acquire all the heroes will keep a lot of people playing this game for a long time. Now, Pixel Heroes is the kind of game where if you die, you stay dead and have to start over from the very beginning. The good news, though, is that you don't get a game over until all 3 heroes pass away. So as long as you can drag one person back to the church here, you can resurrect your friends and keep the adventure alive and well. Now, besides the quirky dialogue and addictive battles, Pixel Heroes has one big flaw, and I do say big flaw. And this game is in desperate need of an instruction manual. And I do not say that lightly, because I rarely ever look at any instruction manual whatsoever. However, the guide here of how to use what buttons and move what where is atrocious. There is nothing to help you out. It is giving you the most basic of indications of what button presses do what. For instance, I was trying to actually move one shield onto my other character. It took me 30 minutes to try and work out that actually I had to hold down a button for about 2 or 3 seconds. 30 minutes. Easily an instruction manual could have solved that. There's a lot of things here in the actual control system that probably works for PC or it'll work for a tablet, but they just haven't got right with an Xbox One controller. Now, hopefully this can be patched, because this is quite a serious flaw and it can stop you from actually enjoying the game. One thing I will also note about Pixel Heroes is that it is extremely hard, even on the cheap difficulty. I would probably look at this as almost a Dark Souls-esque RPG roguelike game, because you will die often. It's basically get to a certain point, a boss has a attribute which you can't basically kill or do anything against or even defend against. Die, rinse and repeat. However, you do feel like you are pushing forward, but the difficulty here is so hard it may feel that it's a bit too slow a progression for some people. And this leads me on to the graphics of the game. I absolutely love the 8-bit graphics on this game. It is beautiful and perfect, and it just brings back a flood of retro nostalgia like nothing before it. Everything pops, everything is colourful and bright, everything is perfect to the 8-bit style that I remember back in my youth. This just emanates something back from the Spectrum era. So for potentially the younger generation, they may look at this and go, what the hell? The rest of us old guys absolutely look at this and just fall back in love with it again. Honestly, this is a beautifully well designed and graphically superb of its era. And this brings me to the sound of the game. One strange aspect for this game is its sound. It is way too quiet. I had to turn up my sound to full maximum because there is no sound option. The sound itself is perfect and it suits it brilliantly for the 8-bit era, but it's just way too quiet and it makes you strain to hear the perfect 8-bit sounds that it has, which I just can't understand and really does need to be patched. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, rent, great purchase, must own. My rating for this game is rent, and this is for the following reasons. Pixel Heroes has an awesome retro visuals and a fantastic sense of quirky humour. It's also got a lovely lot of wacky scenarios. The game itself is challenging gameplay, but it is a little bit simple and addictive, and there's lots of content to discover to go back and look for. The biggest problem with this game is the menus is absolutely awful for the Xbox One, and the control system just doesn't work, and it makes it a chore and it puts in a lot of frustration when you play it. Another thing I didn't like at all also was the sound. The sound itself is way too quiet. The sound is brilliant, but you can barely hear it, so you end up having to whack it so high up, and then if someone like another person that you know appears on Xbox, well, basically scares the hell out of you and every other person around the entire neighbourhood. These are things that really do need to be patched. However, it is fun. The price for this is $7.99 UK pounds, or about $9 US. Overall, it's a good game, but it really needs a lot of more work to it to make it a game that I would recommend in terms of a great purchase. So what do you think? Do you think I'm being a bit too harsh? Please leave your comments below. I really would like to hear what your thoughts on the matter is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this review has been informative, and I hope to speak to you again soon.